Hi, I'm Stuart and welcome to SIRENNET Television. Now, a control head for a TA, what's otherwise known as a traffic advisor, is something that's quite important, and it's something that shouldn't be overlooked because that's what makes the whole product work. And Chris has in his hands a control head. We're going to take a look at it right now. Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Stuart, and thank you for joining me here on SIRENNET Television. With me, Whelen Engineering's TAD-CTL1. It's a control head designed to be utilized with traffic advisor products that operate off a 2-wire tie-in system. So with that, you'll have a warning stick, maybe a 6-lamp, an 8-lamp, or a light bar that incorporates a built-in traffic advisor function to the rear. When it's a 2-wire system, 2 wires control the TA function. So apply power to one trigger wire, the unit pans to the left. Apply power to the other, it goes to the right. Power to both wires in conjunction will do a center outward split. So it's very useful. It minimizes all the wires it takes to make a traffic advisor function work in a system. So it's a little easier to tie those accessories in and run them with a main SIRENNET lighting controller or without one. So when it comes to 2-wire TA systems, the TAD-CTL1 can be very helpful. So if you're thinking of doing a light bar that works off a 2-wire, what you'll do with the TAD-CTL1 control head is you'll take the trigger wires for that product and you'll tie them in onto the trigger harness on the back of the controller. For tying in the control head itself to your vehicle's electrical system, a lead and ground. It also incorporates a 5-amp inline fuse, so nice protection for the control head itself. On the accessory harness, this is where you will tie in the lead and ground, so powering up the product that you have. You'll also then tie in the other colored trigger wires to the other wires of the product. So you'll match the wire here that corresponds to left traffic advisor, match the one that corresponds to right. A neat feature that this also allows you to do is tie in other functions. So you can have warning modes. So if you have a fixture that has independent in-flashers, or you'd like to control warning modes of your light bar, by tying in those trigger wires on the product, again to the trigger wires here on the back of the control head, using the switches on the front of the controller, you can operate more than just the TA function. So again, in-flashers or a cautionary mode. A neat feature that you can also do is tie in a scan lock. So if you have a product where you'd like to be able to manipulate flash patterns on the fly easily with this controller, you'll take the trigger wire designated to scan lock, tie that corresponding wire from the product onto here, and then on the front of the control head, if you notice looking inward, I'm going to take a quick look myself, there is a slightly inset push button on the front of the face here, right above the flash logo. So if you take a pen, paper clip, small screwdriver, give that a quick tap inward, that will advance through the scan lock trigger wire to the product. So it'll allow you to adjust flash patterns through the control head rather than go in and having to manipulate the trigger wire itself on the product and changing there. So really nice and useful. On the control head itself, I'll go ahead now, put power to it so you can see how it has a useful backlight feature and also give you a little demonstration how the control switch and the rotary knob will work on this wonderful little product. Neat thing also about this control head, depending on how you're going to install it into your vehicle. You can order an equipment console from us and order a faceplate, so this will drop right in, nice and flush, matching up with your other controllers or radios going in the vehicle. If an equipment console is not going to be used within the vehicle, included with the control head is a nice polycarbonate bail bracket. The bail bracket itself, designed to fix onto the control head. Also, a set of hardware is included along, so this will allow the bail bracket to actually mount onto the control head itself. And with that, bail bracket, as you can see, tucks onto the sides, and it will allow this to be mounted under the dashboard or onto a factory console, or tuck it away within the glove box or in the armrest cubby. That way, easily accessed when you need to use it. When not in use, it's stowed away nice and clean. For operating the control head itself, on the rocker switch here, if it's flipped downward, that can operate the auxiliary function. So on the install guide included, there's a trigger wire that tied in when the auxiliary is activated, activates a corresponding trigger wire. So with that, that could activate a cautionary accessory on the product that you're wiring up to this system. Flip it to the center. Anything that's tied into this control head is going to be deactivated. flip it upward to the on position, and that's going to go ahead and activate anything related to the rotary knob here. So with that, as you can see, a nice backlit feature, so at nighttime you can see what you're doing quite easily. And with that, adjusting the rotary knob, matching the arrow position, so that'll indicate whether you're going left, right, or flipped up to the center, center outward. You can also switch the rotary knob all the way to the in position, which would activate a flashing function. So again, in flashers on the traffic advisor fixture that you have, or a cautionary mode on a light bar. Something else that you can add on to the TAD CTL1 if you choose to do so to get some more flexibility, tie in some more switches for independent control of other products on your vehicle, is you can pop out one of the 3 corresponding blanks on the side here. I've already gone ahead, pre-loosened one. So it has a blank, flat pop-in. With that pop-in removed, you can go ahead and see that it'll allow you to take and add another switch. So the switch that I have here is the TAD SW1. It's a single throw rocker switch designed specifically by Whelen to work in conjunction with this control head. So you'll take the TAD SW1, again you can add 1, 2, or 3 along the box of your choosing, pop it into the control head itself, and as you can see, incorporating more standard on-off rocker switches to go along with other accessories, so hideaways, beacons, or work lights. As you can see, on the back of the control head itself, easy to get to the connections, the slide-ons on the back of the switch itself, and incorporated with the TAD SW1, Whelen has given you 3 pigtail wires to get you started. So these will slide on to the posts on the back of the switch and then tie into the accessories in which you're going to operate. So as you can see, really nice, useful control head that Whelen Engineering has put together to work in conjunction with 2-wire Traffic Advisor products. It can also do a little bit more for you, tying in auxiliary, flashing options, and the auxiliary switches as well for a bit more control. I'm Chris. Thanks for joining me on SIRENNET Television. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, there you have it. Interesting product. It's available, of course, in this case, it's from Whelen Engineering. It's part of the control head system for theirs. It happened to be, and I'll just recap the part number, a TAD-CTL1. It's always good to read it. I'm Stuart. You've been watching SIRENNET Television. Thanks for watching.